In Albania, there's something called the Suri Culture, which is the blue eye. It is a well like an underground stream that surfaces just in this random spot in the middle of the woods. But they've made a road to it, and it's just like blue. It's like straight blue, as far as down as you can see. It's super cold. We made a point to go back and jump in it when we went and visited the mission, because we couldn't do it as missionaries, so we went back. And jumping in is supposed to have like special properties because it just comes straight from who knows where. So that one's really cool. They have a lot of castles, like Skanderbeg's castle, Skanderbeg. So that is the national hero of Albania. As far as I know, the story is he was kidnapped as a child, raised by Turks as a cavalryman, and then came back and fought against the Turks, and fought them like all the way down to like Durrës, and then before he was defeated. And the Albanians, I don't know how true this is, but the Albanians say because he put up such a resistance that Italy was able to mount a defensive against. That's why the Turks didn't take over Italy as well, because Albania stopped him and slowed him down until they couldn't, they didn't have the resources to get to Italy and to be able to do that. But they have statues. It's usually a statue of him on a horse with he's got like a metal cap with like feathers in it. And they have a big statue of him like smack dab in the middle of their square, which is pretty cool. They have some really cool castles that are preserved because they made it into a museum. So like Girocaster is like a fairly intricate castle because they still have like some of the batteries for it. They still have artillery and stuff. It's on top of a hill overlooking the city, which is really cool. Beirut is a very cool old city because it's built onto the side of the hill, and the cobblestones are like original from who knows how long ago, and they lead up to the castle on top, but they're so slick that you can get a car not able to go up because so many feet have stepped on it. It's just worn every single cobblestone completely polished. So if you have to drive up it, it's like driving on ice. It's super slick. But it's fairly common artwork because it has white houses that are almost vertical because the hill is so steep that the traditional view of it, it's pretty cool. Tirana is pretty cool just because it's way down south. It's the prime beach area for the whole country. Shkodër is close to my heart. That's where I spent my last 6 months, and it's basically the city of bikes. They have bikes, 5% of the people drive and the rest ride bikes to wherever they need to go. It's pretty cool. There's tons of history. Any European country will have years and years and hundreds of years of history behind it. One thing I noticed about the wildlife, so I'm from Alabama, and they have, we call them banana spiders, but I think they're called golden ore weavers. And if you want to see Satan incarnate, look at a picture of them, because they get this big around plus their legs, and then it's just this big, fat, nasty looking abdomen, and it's just little hairs on the legs in some parts. It just looks super creepy. And we were exploring an old battery by the castle of Skanderbeg, and I was walking, we found some stairs at the back, and I started walking out, and I saw banana spiders there, and I was like, no, this is terrible. But I only saw 2 the whole time I was in the country, but it was traumatic for me anyways, because I grew up with them. Banana spiders are the worst. Other than that, Kosovo, we were walking to the church once, and someone had gone hunting out in the woods and shot a wild boar, which was this long, and they had it on the sidewalk, and they had gutted it already, probably before they transported it, but it was this massive wild boar that was almost longer than me, and is just sitting on the side of the road. Other than that, didn't see a lot of the wildlife. The capital city is pretty cool. Most old cities have a roundabout road It's called the Ring Road in Tirana, and it's like almost every city in Albania has like a roundabout road, which are super handy. The one in Tirana goes along the Lana, which is like this super nasty. It's pretty much like almost sewage river running through the city. I heard a story of a guy that had gotten drugged and woke up in the Lana the next day and was like not super happy about it. Ramadan is a pretty big Muslim holiday, so that one is usually pretty big. New Year's Day or New Year's Eve is their big fireworks shooting holiday, and they love their fireworks. We definitely were not allowed out on New Year's Eve, and so like the mortars that we have here where you light it, then you get like 30 or 40 feet away. They have that, but it's a Roman candle that just shoots like big mortar balls. And so instead of having like a tube that you set down, they're like holding it and you can shoot it wherever. Like pretty awesome fireworks. One thing I do kind of miss is that it was a lot of small businesses. So if you couldn't find a job, you could start buying produce and open up like a little produce store wherever you wanted, pretty much, wherever you could find a space. But it means that anytime that like any apartment in the whole city is no more than like a 5-minute walk from fresh produce, which is cool. So pretty much like every day we'd get like a loaf of bread and fresh tomatoes that were like picked like a couple days before that, or whatever vegetables and produce and stuff, which is really cool. And they have big like bazaar style markets, and they had a big one in Durrës that was like for food, like a food or vegetable market, but they also have like a big like apparel and pretty much anything you could think of, where it's like a square block that is just like covered with like tent covers or like shed covering. So like simple aluminum tin roof, and then they just have like little stores. It's like an outlet mall, but like a really condensed, very busy outlet mall that's like inside a square block. They're really cool. And you spend the whole day in there and never see the same shop twice.